Hey guys, welcome to another session of Epic 7. In this video, we're going to be talking about the Substat modification change that has dropped, and as I'm recording the video, today is the first day. At least we're nearing the end of the first day, and oh man, whew, it's been crazy, man. If you're watching this video, use this as like an avenue to express your thoughts and ideas. I definitely want to talk about, you know, some of the little aspects. Maybe you're a newer player and you just want to get into this as well. Hopefully this will be helpful, but also it's just my kind of thoughts on the system itself. I know that my community would usually asking what I think about it. I've already said it in other videos, but there are aspects of this that it did catch me by surprise. So for one, the amount of RNG it takes to get the right substat. I'm gonna call it substat gem, substat reroll gem. You're gonna hear me call it a lot of different stuff. We're gonna move to the expedition here. There's one completed. Okay, so here, I mean, this is crazy. The amount of time it takes to kill a boss is just absolutely crazy. It's so quick. Like, I've only been inviting my guildmates, at least for the first day. So those in my friends list, don't panic. I will send them out to you tomorrow. But just in the guild itself, it's like as soon as it's sent out, someone's dead. Like this, I'm looking at this right now. There's already 3 guys in it. We just looked at it like a second ago. It was just sent out, and he's one of my guildies, and I didn't see him send out any message. It's just everybody's just like watching this like a hawk. It's crazy. I'm gonna skip out on this for the video. I would hit it, but honestly, my team is not impressive, and I wanted to talk about this. So first things first is that you'll notice that, I mean, when you hit it, if you hit level 3, you would be disappointed at the rate, I think, of the greater modification gem versus the lesser modification gem. It looks to be about a 20%. That's like kind of my experience, about 20 to 25. I think 20% rate of getting a greater over the lesser. So if you hit a level 3 expedition, you will get a possibility, like I said, probably 20% to get a greater, and then 80% chance to get a lesser. If you hit a level 2, you can only get a lesser, or you might not get one at all. So if you are a mid-game player, I would definitely suggest you not prioritize expedition. They're really not going to help you that much right now. You want to get to the end game. You want to be able to, you know, get the best substats at the highest rolls possible on ideally epic gear. I'm going to talk about it. There's going to be a lot of stuff I want to talk about. So that's the first thing, is that we have 16 sets right now in the game and 11 substats. So that part did take me by surprise. I wasn't really, I guess I shouldn't have been surprised, but it did take me by surprise. It's just like, man, how hard is it to get, like, you know, majority of my gear are speed set, immunity set. Yeah, I have some lifesteal counter splash in there, but those are the majority. Yeah, some crit set maybe. But I mean, look at this. So I only got 2 pieces right now, which is kind of good, but they're the lesser pieces. And then maybe go to the immunity just to check it out. Oh, we got 2 pieces as well. But I mean, I haven't farmed as hard as, you know, everyone else. So, you know, my pool isn't that good in terms of data. In terms of just the overall system itself, you do get lower substats if you compare to rolling gear fresh. So I'm just gonna pull up the stats here. The top row, the chart is what happens in a greater gem, and then every single column is the substat you can roll, right? So the substat you can reroll, that is. And then the bottom one is the lesser gems. I'm not gonna, for the sake of conversation, I'm not gonna talk about the lesser gems, but I'm gonna keep this on screen at least for a couple minutes. So if you guys ever want to return to it and then, you know, look at it, definitely do it. I do have to give a credit, which I don't know the person who made this. Apologies. If you do know yourself, of course, and you watch this video, please credit yourself. Thank you for doing this. I don't know how accurate it is, but I'm gonna take it because they look to be the numbers that I have seen. Although, like you saw in my my example, I wasn't, like, you know, going through every single one of them because I don't have enough gems for all that. And the fact is that I don't know how, maybe it's mathematically calculated, but there's definitely calculations on the number of rolls. I don't know if the missing spots are just missing data. I'm assuming that's the case, but we have a rough idea of what things look like right now. So in terms of, first things first, if you look to the right, the most right, speed. you don't get that much. You don't get that much out of it, which is good. I'm very, very glad that you can, you know, 4 roll something, so quad roll something, and maximum speed output is up to 13 speed. And as you know, and if you have played this with the system, there is a varying degree of substats you can roll. So you can roll low, you can roll high. So that's one other aspect of RNG. So you got a couple aspects, of course. You have the if you're hitting level 3s, you have the potential lesser drop, you have the greater drop, you have the 16 sets, and then you have the 11 substats. So getting the exact one you want on a greater is going to be at a low probability right now, at least. And then getting the, if we want a high roll or not, it's going to be a lot of luck. So I definitely say that if you can substat reroll something with a really high roll, it's going to be very lucky. The benefit is, though, if you take a look at this, so let's go to the middle where it's like percent attack, HP, defense, effectiveness, and effect resist. You can take a look at the rolls there. It's pretty good. It's actually pretty good. So 88 and lower, the base roll, so let's say you have an effect resistance that you don't want, like on a bruiser piece. Let's say you have 4 effect resist. Because it rolled once, there's a possibility for you to convert that to an 8% HP, 8% defense, 8% attack. That's pretty good. Once you start rolling, you'll be able to see that you're gonna receive some diminishing returns. And of course, with the RNG, if you don't hit the max, you are really lowballing yourself. So I think in the case of, I'm gonna pop back into the game here. In the case of, you know, what I recommend at the moment to substat reroll, like what I wouldn't do is I wouldn't go to, let's say, your RB, and you're just like, I'm gonna pop open this Kisei actually. Let's pop open the Kisei. She'll be good. She'll have a lot of gear that needs some more perfecting. So there's the stats. I don't use her, by the way. I built her because I had this spare piece of DPS gear, but I don't know how to use her. That's why she's not max molded. But let's say, for example, this ring, right? So we got effect resistance, there's 7. So I know myself, I mean, you could do the calculation as well. There's no roll into the effect resistance here. So no roll into the effect resistance. And so what that means is that if I make this, let's say, into a flat attack, I'm gonna get the best bang for buck. Of course, that's also if I can roll the highest with a greater gem. So when you're rolling substats, you definitely want to roll a gear that, one, rolled high, and on the 4th stat, the stat that you actually want to reroll, ideally you don't have double rolls. So hold on, let me pull up a Pavel. He has a boot that would be very good to show. He's ungeared, by the way, to you. So for example, like this one, if you take a look at that chart again, so I'm gonna open up the chart again. You probably can't see it. Yeah, you can kind of see it. You can see the effect resist. So the effect resist rolled at least once, right? So you got the base and you have once. It's going to be like, it's not going to be as good in terms of the return compared to, let's say, if I put the flat attack into the Kisei. Yes, of course I rolled twice, so you put a flat attack in there, which for an offensive boot, that's probably what you will want anyway. But you're not going to get too much back. So ideally you want that spare sub, or the quote-unquote salty sub, to only have the base roll and everything else rolled high. So that's how you're gonna really maximize this substat reroll system. And like if you have a DPS piece and you rolled 3 times effect resist, in my opinion, that might be like, I'm just saying right now those gems are very rare. So like, are you gonna really use it there? I'm not quite sure. I would, again, like I said, I would advise not to. At least this is where we're standing right now. So like for example, like this one, although on this specific build, this isn't gonna be good. So on Kisei, I just popped up in the chest. Actually, I don't know if you can see it through the transparency. I made it transparent on purpose in case I wanted to talk over it. So this one will roll, if I 90 this will have like, I think 17 or 18 crit damage, 15 health, 15 speed, 9% health, and then that effect resistance will be at a 5%. But if you took a look at the chart for ER, if it low rolled and I wanted crit because it was the base 4%, you can maximally still get up to 5% crit rate. You see that on the base? 5% crit rate. But that's a 90 gear, of course, when you're 90. But if it's 88 or lower, so if it's 85, you might get a 4%. So that in that case, that effect resistance swap on the chest is very, very worth it. It's very, very worth it. Of course, it depends on if you're, it depends on if you're satisfied with that overall gear score though, right? For example, like this one as well, the flat health could be crit rate, and you probably won't ever make it something else. So you're already limited in terms of the weapon. You can't get defense, so you might want to go maybe percent health, but crit rate I would say probably the safest. You can't get flat attack in a weapon anyway. But in terms of like maximum usability, so at this point, a lot of RNG to get the gems that you want. So we're not going to be seeing, you know, every hero built up really quick. I mean, this is already dead. It died a long time ago, the one that we were looking at. So yeah, those are kind of my thoughts. And just to keep in mind, guys, like, you know, the substat reroll giving you a lower stat than rather you know, crafting and then enhancing, I think it's a good thing. It ensures that, you know, people don't just get overpowered gear, and then that the whales, the ones that can, you know, farm forever, don't all of a sudden get a huge gap. I would definitely say that this gap is not going to be as big as, let's say, the I-90 meta. That shift was definitely very, very hard at the beginning, especially for people who either you don't spend much or you're completely free to play, compared to those who are whales, because the 90 just ensured all stats upgraded. We are going to be most likely seeing some changes coming in the coming month, in April, at least next month, so it depends on when you're watching this video. But I think they're going to be adding selection chests for those gems here. They might be thinking about adding those gems available in like side stories and stuff like that. So we're definitely going to have a lot of stuff to look forward to. So again, like I said, I think the system is fine in terms of the substat reroll itself. It's just right now feels overwhelming in terms of just the amount of sets. You can't really narrow it down. They perhaps will implement a feature in the alchemist steeple, like what we kind of do now. We can, like, you know, take our extracted essences and make them into charms. You might be able to take some of these like really weird ones where, like, I don't know, like who would really use this, but you might be able to recycle them, because I can imagine people are gonna pile in on the useless stuff. And I know Smilegate, they want to have your inventory bag like kind of neat and tidy, you know. They really love that, man, with the filters and stuff like that. So in my opinion, that's going to come, maybe not next month because they never announced it, but they will come. I think so. I'm pretty sure. You'll be able to like recycle maybe 5 pieces to get one that you really want, like selected or something like that, you know. So regardless, farming the expeditions will be a core part of this game now. So aside from hunts, so hunts give you posters, but the posters now, you definitely want to hit them more like consistently. So I already got a couple of these, man. I really want to jump in on these right now. Actually, I could show the teams really quick what I'm running, but I won't show the stats because I'm not really happy with where all of them are right now, and I won't do a run. So you can see there, my team for Dark 3 at least, is Landy, Bloodstone, RTA build, Bruiser, 200 speed, standard. Tamarine, regular PvE style. I have Potion Vial on her, not for this expedition, but it's because she actually doesn't need anything else. Cerise on Ms. Confile. So Ms. Confile is limited artifact with Guilty Gear with the Elfelt banner, at least last year. If you're missing Ms. Confile, it is one of the best in slot for Cerise. So we do have confirmation that Guilty Gear is coming back. Is Elfelt coming back? I'm 99% sure it is, but in case it isn't, that's a feels bad, but I'm pretty sure it is. So if you don't have that artifact, definitely get it. Lilius built on actually scraps. I've seen people use F. Cleary on this team, and I think Lilius is better. I ran F. Cleary instead of Lilius, and like if you don't land the Death Break, the F. Cleary keeps you healed, but if you have Landy on Bloodstone, you're gonna be healed anyway. You're never gonna die. My Lilius is actually ungeared, in terms of artifact. I'll just quickly show it. Which means that you don't need much. And trust me, she's not good. She's actually not good. She's on a crit set, for crying out loud. She's not even a bruiser. Look at all that crappy gear on her. And she works. She works. Blast through it really quick. My fire one, I'm copying someone else, but my SSB is RTA build without effectiveness. So I might remove her. She can't actually debuff fire 3. But Luna on rage set. Luluka is my wyvern farmer, so she actually does damage. She's on Daydream Joker, which I don't think works for Ferris here, but I'm too lazy to swap artifact because, like I said, wyvern farmer. Rose on standard gear, but she needs a Sword of Azera. That guy hits pretty hard. I put Sword of Azera on, but again, like you see, the gear quality here, 85s. Like it's not that bad. The reason why I'm going with no healer here is because how fast at the moment everybody's hitting expedition. So honestly, you just really need to dabble your fingers into it, and the boss will die. Most players right now, they have a common etiquette where they're not doing like 2 million damage solo, but rather they're inviting everyone and doing about 300 to 400,000, so that if 6 players max it, the boss is dead regardless, but everybody gets a piece. This is my team here. Kayron still on counter set. Tamarine again coming back again, and then Ra's normal like PvP build with Aureus and Tenny on a Tika Scepter to recycle her cooldown quicker for more AoE and of course more chances to death break. Kayron is on Dust Devil, and that's pretty much it. So far pretty consistent, but like I said, it's because everybody's hitting it, so the bosses die really quick. I don't know if for you specifically, if you're watching this, like maybe you don't have that kind of community, or maybe you struggle, or the community you're with, like maybe let's say your guildmates or the friends you have struggle in killing it, then yeah, you guys might need to either find new friends or willing friends that are like stronger, that are able to carry it, or you gotta do it multiple times, which I mean, it's part of the climb in terms of power creep. So overall, I'm really looking forward to the changes that will help in terms of like the ease of obtaining these. I'm okay with RNG. I'm okay with lowered like diminishing return stats. I think that just, you know, keeps people from getting too powerful, but it's just a really nice feature overall. Anyways, I'm gonna end that for the video recording, all the little tips and tricks that I've come across, and hopefully that's helped. Keep things in mind in terms of like, you know, where you're gonna invest it because of how rare it is right now. Hopefully it will help, you know, in your progress, and these are the reasons why I'm making these videos. Let me know what your thoughts are in the comments down below in terms of this new system. What do you think about it? What do you think could be improved? Maybe Smilegate will see this video, maybe they'll read the comments, who knows. Let me know what you guys think, because, you know, I always love firing off these ideas with you guys. Anyways, thanks for watching. If you guys have Discord, check out the Discord server, follow me on Twitter, subscribe to YouTube if you haven't. As always, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.